Hello my boys, good morning. I just arrived from the kitchen with the coffee ready. This is a video material that I wanted to do for such a long time. I talked multiple times about these things, but you know my voice doesn't have echo in the community. No problem, so I prepared here a tab, Path of Exile 2's crafting bench in quotes. So as you know by now, there are multiple voices that say we don't have a crafting bench in Path of Exile 2, especially for the campaign phase. So we can find the crafting bench in Path of Exile 1. This will give you some flexibilities. Maybe you need some extra resistances on your rare items, maybe you need some life, maybe you need some mana, or some special effect. You will sacrifice one of the lines here. As you know, the items have free prefixes, free suffixes. If you have an open suffix or prefix, you see, if anyone says here prefix, suffix, you can do some small degree of customization. This is very useful, I agree, especially for the campaign, even in the end game. You see, if you have a rare item, you can use like this. You can use the crafting bench. It will give you a certain degree of flexibility for deterministic crafting. Now, in this video, we're not talking about crafting in general, just the crafting bench. Now, let's go back to Path of Exile 2 and see what we have here. Well, there is something that is lacking in Path of Exile 1, which are the sockets. In Path of Exile 1, there is no socket system. Here, if I hover with the mouse, as you can see, these items have sockets. And these sockets can be customized with various runes, talismans, and soul cores that give you certain abilities. Let's talk a little now about the crafting bench in Path of Exile 2. People say that we don't have it and feels like trash. But, on the other hand, you can put sockets on your items. Yeah? Let's say in the campaign you need some strength. You just put a rune here that gives you some strength. Now let's say you reach the end game and you want to have the same item here. Let's put this one also, which gives me so strength, dexterity. Let's say in the end game you need some resistances. Yeah. Maybe you need some lighting resistance. You put it here. No problem, you change it like this. This is a form of deterministic crafting with the rune system. Not only that, these items in Path of Exile 2 can have multiple sockets. Yeah, you're not limited. It gives you even higher degree of customization. And I need to stress one more thing that you might missed it. In Path of Exile 1, you cannot use the crafting bench on unique items. It even says here, you cannot perform this action on a unique item. Well, in Path of Exile 2, actually, you can use sockets on unique items, giving you a high degree of customization. For example, here, this is a unique item, and I still use soul cores that increase my maximum life. Here, it's a shield Svalin, and I still used sockets that increase my maximum life. I use this one, soul core of Jiguani. This is something great that actually it's superior to Path of Exile 1, the ability that we can do deterministic crafting on our unique items. Yeah. Let's say you need more spirit here. You put it and you have more spirit on your weapon. Yeah, deterministic crafting. Yeah, people don't talk about this thing. And if we go to Alva, actually there are more than this. We go here and we can see them. These are the current runes for patch 0.2. These are the current soul cores. I think they are 15, yeah. And talismans. So you can change resistances, you can change attributes. You have special effects that you can change. 1 second, let me put here D&D because this video is about Path of Exile 2. Good, let's go back here. So you have effects even for offensive that will change. Maybe the attack speed, you have critical damage bonus. Even for the runes here, you have skill speed. You understand the process. And what's interesting is that they said that they will add even more. So we will see more talismans, more soul calls, more runes. You know, now Path of Exile 2 just launched, but they will add more content as the time goes by. I personally enjoy the rune system. I find it deterministic crafting at its finest. And this is the main reason why GGG will not add a crafting bench in Path of Exile 2, because we already have deterministic crafting for all our items. And I explain it's even better because here we can use it on the uniques. It's even better. Not only that, it will preserve all the 6 affixes. So you have free prefixes, free suffixes. You can have all 6 with great roles, great mods. And on top of that, you can do deterministic crafting via the socket system. Yeah. So people are not paying attention to this detail. So we talked about the equivalent of a crafting bench in Path of Exile 2, but now let's talk about crafting in general, because I find it an interesting topic. So Jonathan Rogers and GGG said that Path of Exile 2 just launched, but they will implement more and more crafting system as the game progresses. Now, because it just launched, it happened just like in Path of Exile 1 when it launched. When Path of Exile 1 launched, it lacked a lot of things. It lacked content, it lacked balances. For crafting, we didn't have much, but as they added new leagues and new mechanics, the crafting system in Path of Exile 1 got better and better. Same thing will apply to Path of Exile 2. Now, GGG tried its best to add on the spot some extra deterministic crafting, like fractioning orb here, which is very powerful. Also, they added the recombinator device, which is again a very powerful device, but they will add even more. So this is not a problem about the lack of content. What I said multiple times for Path of Exile 2 and why I said this game will be a hit in 1 year, it's because the core of the game is superb. Here we have great graphics in Path of Exile 2, we have great sounds and a great engine. So these are the pillars of a good game. Now, the balances, you know, if you're doing the campaign and the monsters have more life, if they do more damage, those can be tuned with numbers. That's not a problem. Even the lack of content for the end game and that will be added in the future. That's not a huge issue. So GGG with the new patches that they will do, they will expand this tree here, they will add even more content, maybe they will add things like Legion or Blight from Path of Exile 1 and they will make it more and more interesting. They just need a little time. So we must not judge the game based on these things because they will be fixed easily and GGG is doing all these mini patches showing that they want to adapt and change. Now what's the problem here? I think the developers from Grinding Gear Games are out of touch with their product, meaning some of the developers don't actually enjoy the game, don't actually play it a lot, and that is fine. We have a lot of game companies, studios, where the developers don't play the game non-stop, they are just there for their salary to get paid. It's normal, it's okay. That's why mistakes have been done. In patch 0.2 the campaign was horrible because the monsters were not balanced, they had a lot of life, but it got fixed eventually, you see, they fixed it. Let me tell you a story. So a few years ago I watched a nice documentary on gaming. It was about Korean games. They explained that in bad games in Korea what they do. Because the engine of the game, you know, the engine, the graphics, sounds, they are trash. What they do to make the game appear more appealing to the public, they raise the brightness, they put more colors, and they put flashy numbers, damage numbers, to give you a more dynamic combat feel, you know, to trick your brain into thinking that the game is great. GGG doesn't do this trash. The colors are pretty grim, as you can see, nothing, the brightness is not exaggerated here. Also, we don't have those damage numbers, you know, flashing in your eyes all the times, tricking your brain that the fight is dynamic. None of that. And this I appreciate a lot. Talking about content, it will be added. It will be added. That's why I said in the future Path of Exile 2 will be a hit in like 1 year. Will surpass even Path of Exile 1 because it runs on the better engine, better graphics, better sounds, and content will be added. Balances will be made. And also remember that before the early access launch, everyone was praising Jonathan Rogers, was clapping because he's a hard-working guy that cares about his product, you know. When Path of Exile 2 actually launched and he did some small mistakes or the game had some unbalanced things, which is normal for an early access release, by the way, people started attacking him. Well, Path of Exile sucks, Jonathan Rogers is the villain. Man, stop with that crap. Game will be good. It's already on a good path. That's why I have high belief in this. My only real fear about Path of Exile 2 is that the company is in the hand of Tencent. Tencent is an Asian company that is known for being a cash-grabbing cow. They want to milk from, you know, from the players as much money as possible. This is my only fear for the game. I don't think they understand how a good action role-playing game needs to be. This is my only fear for the game. Yeah? But again, in terms of lack of content and in terms of balances, I don't care because I know that GGG will fix everything and they are on the right path. They do always mini patches and stuff like that. So again, to sum it up, for all the boys that say that Path of Exile 2 lacks a crafting bench, we have something that's similar to a crafting bench, which is the rune system, that you can just change the runes with the effects that you need. You need more attributes, you put more attributes. You need resistances, you put resistances. You even life, you have maximum life, you have special effects, and they plan to add even more to the game. That's the main idea. Put runes inside uniques, something that we don't have in Path of Exile 1. You can also save all your 6 affixes, yeah, and you can still do deterministic crafting on top of that, which is good. This is good stuff. And also your items can have an extra socket, which gets even better, more high degree of customization. Well, I really hope that this answered your questions regarding the crafting bench in Path of Exile 2. Enjoy the rest of the day as I will enjoy my coffee on the balcony. Good luck.